My beloved child, pause for a moment and breathe. In what I am about to share, this message is sacrourgent and crafted for your spiritual one. The tides of destiny are rising, and you stand at the edge of a divine turning point. You were not forgotten. You were not overlooked. I have watched you through the storm, through the silence, and through the age. It was your time to awaken, to remember who you are. Stay with me until the final word, for each one holds the power to awaken. Your purpose does not drift away. Now, for your miracle waits. Just beyond this moment, you are closer than you've ever been. Will you walk this path with me now? Let us begin. Before the world ever knew you, before the stars found their rhythm in the vast heavens, I knew you. Every part of you, every breath, every intricate detail was woven with a care beyond your understanding. Your value is eternal. These words aren't mere statements, but the heartbeat of my everlasting love for you. You live in a world that often measures worth by fleeting things, possessions, accolades, appearances, achievements that flicker like fragile candle flames in a storm. Yet, I see beyond the surface, into the very core of your being, where your true value resides, untouched by time or the surrounding noise. I've witnessed your struggle to understand your worth in a space that constantly redefines it, where your value seems tethered to so many conditions. My beloved, your worth doesn't hinge on the approval of others, nor can it be diminished by the judgments cast your way. I made you, and in my eyes, the fabric of your soul is woven from the most precious elements of eternal grace and unending love. You are more than your failures, more than your past mistakes, more than the shadows that try to cloud your light. You carry within you a divine reflection, a spark of my own nature that cannot be extinguished, stolen, or devalued. There's a deep and sacred struggle inside you, the battle of identity and recognition. Sometimes it feels like you're walking through a desert, your feet dragging through the dust of discouragement, your spirit weighed down by the relentless tides of self-doubt and fear. Yet in that very desert, my spirit is present, a cooling breeze on a sun-baked day, a gentle whisper urging you onward. I am not distant, my dear child. I am closer than your next breath. Even when you feel unseen or unloved, my gaze is fixed upon you. My embrace surrounds you in moments when the world turns away. I invite you now to reach deeper than the world's shallow measures and rest in this unshakable truth. You are eternally valuable to me. Your worth didn't begin with your first cry, nor will it end with your last sigh. It pulses through eternity because it's anchored in my heart, a divine imprint stamped on your very essence before creation itself began. I see beyond the brokenness, the uncertainty, the days you wish you could undo. I see the person I called forth, a beloved masterpiece designed to reflect my glory and to walk boldly in the purpose I've set before you. Let this truth settle in you, child. No matter how the world tries to define or confine you, your value transcends all because it springs from me. I understand the weight of feeling unseen or misunderstood. That pain bears down like a heavy cloak, threatening to suffocate your soul. But remember, my love pierces through the thickest darkness and shines brighter than the harshest judgment. What others may overlook or discard, I treasure and hold dear. You are not an accident, nor are you a fleeting thought. You're a deliberate act of my creative will, etched permanently into the tapestry of my divine plan. This truth is your sanctuary, your fortress against the ever-shifting sands of human opinion. When doubts rise like storm clouds and the voices of worthlessness try to drown out my whispers of love, I call you to anchor your heart in my promise. Your value is eternal and immovable, as unchanging as the sun's journey through the sky, as steady as the stars engraved upon the heaven. My love for you remains constant. In this steady embrace, you are invited to find rest. Not a restless striving to prove worth, but a deep, abiding peace in who you are because of who I am. There's a wellspring of affirmation waiting for you, a tide of acceptance and belonging that cannot be bought, earned, or lost. My dear child, it is freely given, poured out like an endless stream of grace that covers every broken place, every insecurity, every whisper of fear. Will you believe me this time when I say that your value is not subject to the rise and fall of your circumstances? This is the unshakable foundation upon which you can build your life. I long for you to step into the fullness of this revelation, not as a passive recipient, but as one who embraces their identity, standing tall amidst a world that often misleads and confuses. Your value is eternal because you are held in my hands, fashioned with purpose and infinite care. You are my beloved, treasured beyond measure, precious beyond words. No matter what storms rage around you, my love remains a sanctuary. Trust in it, cling to it, and let it transform the way you see yourself. If your heart is stirring, do not turn away. Listen closely, for I'm speaking the language of eternal love into your soul, inviting you to release the chains of self-condemnation and step fully into the light of my acceptance. Walk with me in this truth, for it leads to freedom, joy, and a peace the world cannot give nor take away. Your value is an unbreakable thread in the fabric of eternity, woven by the hand of your Creator. No one, not even fear or failure, can unravel it. This is my message to you today. You are loved beyond measure. You are made for endlessly more than you imagine. Your worth is perpetual, enduring, and perfect through my eyes and in my heart. Let this divine truth take root deeply within you. Embrace it. Carry it like a banner over your life. This is only the beginning of a journey toward fully knowing and living in the magnitude of your eternal value. Walk forward, beloved, with courage. Your story is sacred, your destiny glorious, and I am with you now and forever, finding strength in vulnerability. My dear child, I see the weight you carry, the silent battles fought within your heart. This burden, invisible to the eyes of the world, weighs heavily on your spirit. You may feel as if the darkness surrounding you is without end, like a night that stretches beyond the waning moon, leaving you to stumble in shadows. But I'm near, closer than breath, holding you even when you cannot feel my presence. In the quiet, I'm whispering life and reassurance over the jagged edges of your fear. This tension in your soul, the tension between the longing for peace and the persistent storm of doubt, is not a sign of defeat, but an invitation to deeper trust. I am not distant or indifferent, though sometimes it may feel as if I am silent. I hear every sigh that escapes your lips. I understand the unspoken language of your heart's pain. My patience with you is endless. My holding on to your hand is firm and tender. You are not alone in the struggle. Even when your thoughts spiral into confusion and despair, I am the stillness beneath the chaos, the refuge in the tempest. I have allowed this season not to break you, but to awaken a new depth within you, a finer sensitivity to my spirit, a keener awareness of my love. Like the refining fire that purifies gold, the trials that twist your soul are preparing you for a glory that will outshine the darkest night. Though you feel weary and perhaps misunderstood, even by yourself, you're being held in the palms of my hands. My dear, do not be afraid to lean into the discomfort, to bring every tear, every question, and every doubt to me. Nothing is too small or too heavy for me to carry with you. Remember, my presence is not always wrapped in thunder or radiant light. Sometimes it comes as the soft dew on a parched field, a gentle breath that revives the withered parts of your spirit. When you wrestle with silence or feel forsaken, lean into that whisper of my love. It will become loud enough to drown out despair. In this tension, I am teaching you the strength of waiting, the peace found in patience, and the trust that lights the way forward when vision is blurred. Child, your soul's unrest is fertile ground for my grace. Let my heart pour into your broken places. I am the balm that soothes wounds no one else sees, the warmth that melts the frost of isolation. Your struggles are not hidden from me. I know every ache and every prayer that's caught in your throat. I am tender enough to heal your wounds and strong enough to carry your burdens. You need not hide your pain, for in vulnerability you meet my power. Do not rush through this moment. It is a sacred pause, a breath in the symphony of your life that prepares you to rise again. Trust that I am working all things in your life, seen and unseen, for your good. I will not abandon you nor forsake you. Even when your journey feels lonely and your faith trembles, my steadfast love is your anchor, your fortress, and your salvation. In this time of tension, reach for me with your whole heart. Let your spirit open like the dawn breaking through the night sky. If your heart is hurting and your spirit is weary, bring it all to me. Do not carry these burdens alone. I am here, ready to hold you, to quiet the storm inside you, and bring rest to your weary soul. Let my presence flood your inner being with peace that surpasses all understanding. Take this moment to breathe deeply of my love and to surrender your struggles into my care, trusting that I am near and that I will never leave you alone. Will you come to me now with your brokenness and your doubts? Will you allow yourself to be cradled in the refuge of my love? Let this truth settle in you. No darkness is too deep for my light to penetrate. No sorrow is beyond my healing. I am with you, not only in the highs, but through every shadowed valley and uncertain path. Rest in me, beloved, and let my peace guard your heart. Forgiveness, a rebirth of the soul. My beloved, how often you have felt the heavy weight of guilt pressing down upon your soul, as though you carry the burden of the world's failures alone. I see how this weight curves your spine, darkening your thoughts and stealing the light from your eyes. But hear me now. Guilt is not the chain that confines you. It is the misguided whisperer trying to divert you from the embrace I long to offer. You have been led to believe that your mistakes define you, that the sum of your shortcomings is the measure of your worth. Yet I tell you, my dear child, that when I look upon you, I see not a tally of faults, but a masterpiece, scarred yet radiant, in the palette of my enduring love. Within the garden of your soul, there grows a seed of forgiveness, watered by the gentle rains of my mercy. This seed is planted not when you are perfect, but amidst your imperfect striving, your humble turning. Do you understand, beloved, that forgiveness is more than a declaration? It is a rebirth. When you stumble and fall into remorse, I'm already reaching out to lift you, not to reproach, but to restore. The shame you carry is a shadow that I did not cast. It is the residue of humanity's broken mirrors, reflecting false images. Yet, I stand beside you, casting a light that dissolves every dark reflection, inviting you to see yourself through my eyes, clean, whole, precious beyond measure. Imagine a child who has soiled their clothes but returns to their parents' arms, expecting scorn, and instead finds warmth. That is how I receive you, time and time again. There is no ledger of condemnation in my presence, only an endless well of grace, a fountain that never runs dry. The shame you wrestle with, it is not your sentence. It is a veil I patiently see through, knowing your true face lies just beneath. Let that truth settle in your heart. You are not defined by what you have done, but by who I am. And I am love unceasing, faithfulness unbroken, hope eternal. Somewhere in the deep corridors of your heart, perhaps you have tried to hide from me, fearing I would withdraw love due to your flaws. But hear now the thunder of my assurance. I do not withdraw. Even when you turn away, my gaze remains fixed on you, a constant beacon through the fog of your uncertainty. You are never out of reach. I've carved your name deep in my heart. Your past does not erase the eternal covenant I have made with you. Do not wallow in the quagmire of guilt, my child, for it only traps you further from the freedom I offer. Rise instead into the light of forgiveness and allow me to baptize your spirit with renewal and peace. There are stories you tell yourself to explain why you are less than worthy, why forgiveness seems out of reach. They are like ruins of a once strong fortress, fallen to despair's siege. But as the master builder, I am restoring those broken walls, one stone at a time. With every act of repentance, you hand me another tool. With every sincere plea for mercy, another beam is set in place. This process is not swift, for the rebuilding of a heart requires patience and careful craftsmanship. Yet, my dear child, the outcome is a sanctuary, a place where your spirit can find shelter from storms, a resting place for your weary soul. Do not be fooled by the silence that sometimes cloaks this healing journey. It is not abandonment, but my holy working deep within you, shaping you into the vessel I intended. Within the quiet moments, my spirit breathes truth into the hidden corners of your heart, dispelling the lies that tell you that you are unworthy of my grace. I am with you in the stillness. I am with you in the tears. Each day brings you closer to freedom, to the joy that is waiting on the other side of guilt's shadow. My beloved, there is a sacred dance between your confession and my forgiveness. When you bring me your brokenness, you invite me to do what only I can, transform the pain into power, the failure into triumph. This is not mere consolation. It is a divine exchange. You surrender your guilt, and I clothe you with righteousness, with dignity that cannot be revoked. I call you now to step into this exchange fully, to release the chains of self-condemnation and accept the garment of grace I have made for you. Know that the forgiveness I extend is complete. It is not partial, not conditional upon greater effort or exemplary behavior. It is a gift freely given out of my boundless love. When you feel the temptation to retreat into shame or self-rejection, summon the courage to come back to me. I'm not just a judge, I am your Redeemer, and my desire is to beautify you with forgiveness as the rains beautify the barren earth. Let your heart embrace this truth. Nothing you have done can separate you from my love's cleansing flood. Will you believe me this time? Will you allow me to wrap you in the tender arms of forgiveness to heal the wounds guilt has made? The journey may be slow, and at times you may feel uncertain, but I am patient and I am persistent. I am waiting for you to lean in, to reach out, to let go of the weights you cannot carry alone. Bring your doubts, your fears, and your shame. Bring your trembling heart and your aching spirit. I will meet you there with open hands and a heart bursting with love. In the great tapestry of creation, you are an irreplaceable thread woven with intention and care. Do not let the stains of past mistakes dull the thread's brilliance. Instead, trust in my restorative power to cleanse and brighten. Hold fast to the promise that no sin is too great, no failure too profound, that my grace cannot overcome. Your story is not finished. It is continually being rewritten by my hand, and the ending is one of hope, redemption, and unending peace. Reflect on this, beloved. Forgiveness is not only about my love reaching you. It is also about you releasing the burden you have held so tightly. It is a dance of grace and surrender, a journey from the valley of despair into the light of restoration. Let me guide you out of the shadows of guilt and into the brilliant dawn of my mercy. When your heart feels weary, remember that I am near, ready to renew you with forgiveness so complete that no darkness can shadow your soul. Open your hands now and let go of fear, of shame, of the lie that you are beyond redemption. Receive the forgiveness I offer as freely as the breath of life that fills your lungs. Step into the newness of grace, letting it saturate every corner of your being. You are my beloved, wrapped in mercy, walking in the light of restoration. Let this truth settle within you. Peace amidst anxiety, a sacred surrender. My dear child, in the quiet moments when the world's clamor fades and your soul feels weighed down by burdens too heavy to carry alone, know that I am here, ever present, ever patient. There is a tenderness in my gaze that sees beyond your surface struggles, right into the depth of your heart. The loneliness that wraps around you like a shroud is not a sign of my abandonment, but an invitation into a deeper intimacy with me. Sometimes silence is not my absence, but my sacred presence, a sacred space where your spirit can learn to lean wholly upon me. I see how fear creeps in like a shadow, dimming the light within you, making you question your worth and your path. Anxiety claws at your peace, whispers words of doubt that shake the foundation of your faith. Perhaps you have noticed how these feelings make you clamorous for answers, rushing to fill silence with noise, seeking comfort in places that cannot truly satisfy. My dear, the way to peace is not in the hurried pursuit of relief, but in the patient surrender to my timing and my voice, which often comes not as a roar, but as a gentle whisper. I am teaching you to trust me when everything feels uncertain, to breathe deeply in the midst of your storm, and know that I am your refuge and your strength. When you feel lost in the labyrinth of your thoughts, like the night sky strewn with uncountable stars, but with no clear constellation to beckon you home, remember that I am the true light that does not wane or flicker. Your fear and your doubts do not change my love for you. They are part of your journey, a test of your ability to trust beyond what eyes can see and hands can grasp. I have woven you with purpose and precision, and no amount of anxiety can erase the destiny I have etched for your life. Will you step into this moment with me, laying down your fears at my feet? It is in surrender, not as a sign of weakness, but as a declaration of faith, that you find the keys to unlock the chains of anxiety. Surrender your need to control, your desperate grasp of certainty, your hurried attempts to understand before the right season. I'm asking you to trust the invisible hand that guides the cosmos, the one who shaped the mountains, calls the ocean tides, and breathes life into the smallest seed. This same hand holds you. Will you let me carry the weight of your fears and in return find a peace that surpasses all understanding? I know you wrestle with restlessness and impatience. The waiting can feel endless, the silence deafening. Yet, this time is a refining fire, purging doubts, illuminating hidden fears, nurturing growth in your spirit. Like a patient gardener pruning a tree, I work behind the scenes to prepare you for a harvest greater than you have ever dared to imagine. Rest in the knowledge that every delay has purpose, every silence is filled with my presence, and every trial is a step that draws you closer to the fullness of my grace. Beloved, anxiety is not your enemy when it turns you toward me with an open heart. It is a signal, a spiritual compass pointing toward dependence on my sustaining power. Let these moments of vulnerability be a sacred dialogue where your nervous heart learns to cry out, and I answer with peace. When doubt tries to scatter your faith like autumn leaves in the wind, anchor yourself in the truth of my constant love. In the sacred quiet of surrender, you will discover a river of calm that refreshes your soul and steadies your trembling steps. I do not ask you to journey alone. Though the path is winding and the destination unclear, know that I walk beside you, guiding your feet, overseeing your steps, and holding you when you stumble. Trusting me fully is the first act of courage, the lifeline woven through every trial. My beloved, will you let me carry your fears today? Will you choose to stand firm amid uncertainty, wrapped in my sheltering embrace? Let this truth settle within you. You do not have to conquer anxiety alone. Your willingness to lean into me opens a doorway to peace deeper and wider than you can imagine. In this surrender, you find not only solace, but strength, not just rest, but renewal. Will you believe me this time and step forward in faith, letting go of what you cannot control and embracing my promise of peace? The journey ahead is softer and brighter than you trust, for it is illumined by my unyielding love, conquering fear and doubt, a journey of steadfast faith. My beloved, I see the shadows that lurk in the corners of your mind, the knowing whispers of fear and doubt that unsettle your heart and cloud your vision. These are not mere fleeting thoughts, but thorns piercing the tender flesh of your faith, making you wonder if the light you once held so confidently might dim beyond revival. Fear tightens its grip, anxiety weaves its web, and doubt casts shadows that stretch long into your soul's daylight. Yet, do not despair. I am here, steadfast and unwavering, the anchor beneath your turbulence. Fear is a weight that seeks to bend your spirit. Anxiety, a relentless tide that threatens to pull you under. And doubt, a cloud that veils the sun of your assurance. But remember, these are not signs of your weakness. They are invitations to deeper trust. Imagine a small child trembling before the roaring storm, yet secure in the arms of a loving parent. So too are you cradled in my embrace amidst the howling winds of uncertainty. Your trembling is not forgotten. Your tears do not fall unnoticed. I have walked through the valley of fear with you. I have gathered each anxious thought and transformed it into a stepping stone toward greater peace. When doubt comes knocking, as it inevitably will, in a journey so intertwined with hope and grace, do not cast it out in fear. Invite it in. Speak gently to it, knowing that I am the one who fills all gaps of understanding and mends broken trust. Your doubts are not a chasm between us, but a bridge still under construction, strengthening as you lean into me. I am the familiar hand that steadies when the ground quakes, the quiet voice that speaks truth over the crescendo of your fears. Understand this. Fear and faith cannot reside in the heart at the same moment unless one pushes the other aside. Choose me. Choose my peace that surpasses all human understanding. Even when your heart races uncontrollably, even when your breath catches in the throat of unseen worries, I am there. I am the shelter in your storm, the flame that does not flicker in the gale. Feel my presence now, wrapping around you like a cloak woven of light and serenity, impenetrable and warm. Anxiety today may seem like a roaring lion demanding attention and respect, but with every anxious thought, you have a choice, either to fuel the fire or to water the roots of calm that I have planted within you from the beginning. Return to the place of stillness I have crafted in your soul. It is not a distant sanctuary, but a living wellspring within. Drink deeply, beloved. Drink until your fears lose their strength and your doubts dissolve into the vast ocean of my love. Let me remind you of the countless times I have walked with my children through trembling nights and uncertain dawns. In each moment of fear, I am there, drawing you close, whispering peace into the tempest. When anxiety fills your heart to overflowing, come to me in the quiet spaces between your breaths. Pour out your worries like a fragrant offering. I am the God who listens, the God who never slumbers, the God whose love casts out all dread. Now consider what it means to surrender your fears fully into my hand. This is not a trivial act of resignation, but a powerful choice to entrust me with what you cannot control. When you release the grip on the unknown, you open your arms to the fullness of my care. Trust is not blind. It is the courageous step toward a deeper relationship with me, even when the path is shrouded in mist. Remember, my dear, I am the light that never fails, the promise that holds true beyond every shadow. I invite you right now to lay down your burden of fear and anxiety. Feel your spirit responding to my call, softening and opening like a flower at dawn. Breathe in the assurance of my presence. Exhale the heavy breath of worry. You were never meant to carry these weights alone. Lean on me. Rest in me. Here in this sacred exchange, fear loses its throne, and faith rises like the morning sun. If your heart trembles as you read these words, do not turn away. Let this truth settle in you. You are held. You are safe. You are deeply, irrevocably loved. As you continue this journey, every moment of fear is an invitation to draw closer to me and find peace that the world cannot give. Will you believe me this time? Will you allow my love to chase away every shadow, to speak hope into every anxious corner, to calm every storm within. Your courage does not lie in the absence of fear, but in your willingness to face it with me by your side. Let us walk together through the wilderness of doubt and fear, hand in hand, step by step. I am your refuge and your strength, and ever-present help when trouble comes. Trust me with your trembling heart. Trust me as the shepherd who never leaves the sheep lost or afraid. You need not understand every why or see every path clearly. Some days, simply standing still in my presence is enough to nourish your soul and renew your hope. These quiet moments, though small and tender, carry mighty power. They weave a tapestry of peace that shields you from despair and readies you for the next step on the road I've planned for you. So now take my hand with renewed courage and faith. Allow my peace to reign in your heart, even as fear attempts its assault. You are my beloved, and my love is greater than any fear that tries to claim you. Turn your eyes toward me, the author and perfecter of your faith, and know that your story is held in hands that will never let go. Breathe deeply, beloved, and rest in this steadfast truth. Let your heart quiet, your spirit relax, and your soul rise in the peace I freely give. Let this be the moment when fear loses its voice and faith sings aloud. Will you let me carry your fears? Will you find your refuge in my embrace today? If your heart is stirring, do not turn away. Embrace my peace, my beloved, and walk forward confidently in the light of my everlasting love. The divine rhythm of timing. My dear child, let us now walk deeper into the garden of divine timing, where the unseen choreography of my love unfolds with precision, too holy to be hurried or doubted. You find yourself often questioning the silence that stretches between your prayers and your answers, the waiting that tests the resilience of your spirit. In this waiting, you may feel abandoned, as though my voice has retreated into the shadows, leaving you to wrestle alone with your fears and uncertainty. But hear this, beloved, my timing is not just measured by your clocks or plans. It's crafted according to a sacred rhythm woven throughout the cosmos, a rhythm that pulses with eternal life and infinite wisdom. Time as you perceive it is but a fragile thread in the great tapestry I am weaving. You see the single stitch, the moment of silence, the unopened door, and you wonder if your journey is lost or delayed. Yet I assure you, my dear child, each pause is pregnant with purpose. The moments when nothing seems to happen are not voids, but spaces filled with my unseen presence. Spaces where your faith is being refined as gold is purified by fire. How often you have sought immediate relief, instant resolution, longing for the burdens to be lifted swiftly. Love doesn't always work with haste, for it knows that the richest fruits are those that ripen slowly under the sun's patient gaze. When you feel the weight of waiting, remember the seed beneath the soil. It lies in darkness, seemingly still and lifeless, but it is growing, stretching its slender roots deeper into the earth's embrace. My beloved, you are that seed. The silent days are not wasted, but are the foundation for the bloom that will come in my perfect season. Distrust not the silence, for it is my whisper in disguise. I am shaping your character, filling your heart with resilience and hope that will outlast the fiercest storms. Trust that I am near, closer than breath, carefully tending to what you cannot yet see. I do not tease or torment with false hopes. I am the embodiment of faithfulness. My promises are sure, yet they unfold in a divine sequence meant uniquely for you. The waiting is my way of teaching you to lean not on your own understanding, but to stretch out your hands and surrender and say, I trust you even when I do not see. This trust, child, is not a passive resignation, but an active posture of hope, a declaration that you choose to believe in my goodness and sovereignty against all evidence of delay. Will you believe me this time? Will you open your heart to receive the grace hidden inside the waiting room of your soul? Among all my children, those who walk through waiting with unwavering faith, discover a depth of intimacy with me that the impatient never know. The stillness draws you nearer, for your mind ceases its frantic grasping, and your spirit begins to quietly hear. In the hush, I reveal myself as the healer of restless hearts, the restorer of tired dreams. I invite you to sit with me there in the sacred space of anticipation, where your fears are softened and your courage renewed. Will you stay? Will you bow before me in this waiting, not as one who complains, but as one who worships? Understand that my timing is never out of sync with your best life. Even when your plans scatter into fragments and your hopes seem to crumble like dry leaves, my love holds firm. The delay you endure is never my denial, but my preparation. I am refining your heart to receive the fullness of my blessings, which are far greater than your soul's current appetite can comprehend. The delays are my gift, opportunities to deepen your roots in me, so that when the harvest comes, it will be abundant and sweet, unshakable, even in the winds of testing. Grieve if you must. Lament your confusion and fear, but do not settle into despair. I am with you in every tear, every sigh of doubt. My tenderness knows your every pain, and my patience never runs dry. When you feel as if you cannot wait another moment, call on me. Pour out your heart, your questions, your aching longing. I am a listening God, a God who never slumbers, the God whose love casts out all dread. Let this truth settle in you. You are never forgotten, never forsaken. Even when the silence feels endless, I am working in ways beyond your vision. Like the potter gently shaping the clay, I am molding your life with care, pressing away imperfection, creating what no human eye can yet discern. You might misunderstand the delay as failure or rejection, but my child, it is the hand of infinite grace sculpting a masterpiece from your trials and triumphs, from your faith and your doubts alike. Hold fast to me in this time. Know that every delay carries a blessing, and every waiting period is holy ground where miracles stir quietly beneath the surface of your present reality. Let your heart not be troubled by the tempo of the world around you. The clocks and calendars counted by men do not dictate my will. I am the Lord of time, master of all seasons, and no moment escapes my sovereign care. Your journey is unique, and its pace is tailored by my wisdom and love. Even when others' paths seem swift and certain, do not compare yourself, for your timing is holy. It is the rhythm of my grace tailored specifically for you, designed to strengthen your faith and deepen your joy. My dear, open your soul to the patience I am cultivating within you. Trust that I am orchestrating all things, seen and unseen, with divine precision. The waiting you endure is not absence but presence. It is not emptiness but fullness waiting to be revealed. How wondrous it will be when the seasons shift and your spirit bursts forth in the beauty I have long prepared. Until then, live in my peace, rest in my promises, and let me teach you to walk in confidence, knowing that my timing is perfect and my love never fails. If your heart is stirring, do not turn away. Embrace the waiting as an invitation to deeper trust. For I am here, always here, holding you with hands full of grace and eyes fixed on your destiny. The strength of surrender and unwavering trust. My dear child, the journey through trust and surrender is not a path free from shadows. It often leads you into the quiet valleys where your footsteps falter, where your soul wrestles with the unseen, and your heart questions my presence. Yet in these moments, I am nearer than ever, watching over you like a shepherd tending to his most precious sheep. You may not hear my voice clearly through the noise of your doubts, but I am whispering peace into the chambers of your heart. Understand that surrender doesn't mean weakness or defeat. It is an act of profound strength. It is the deliberate letting go of your anxious grasp on control, placing your fragile hopes and fears into the cradle of my hands. Imagine a child trembling with uncertainty, who finally trusts the safety of a parent's arms. the arms that will not release him even amidst the fiercest storm. This is the measure of trust I ask for, a trust that is not born out of sight, but anchored firmly in my steadfast love. No matter how many times you stumble, my arms remain open, ready to embrace you, to carry you when your strength fails, and to whisper reassurance that all will be well. Do you see, beloved, that faith is not merely believing in my power to change circumstances, but in my unwavering commitment to you, regardless of those circumstances? Your faith is the seed that must be tenderly nurtured within the soil of surrender. When you surrender, you let the stream of my grace irrigate the parched places within your spirit, allowing new life to flourish amidst the decay of fear and uncertainty. Visualize the barren ground cracking open after a long drought, the first sprout of green pushing through the earth. This is what surrender breeds, the beginning of rebirth, the promise of new hope. Yet sometimes surrender feels impossible because your vision is clouded by the weight of your pain and the heaviness of your worries. I am aware of every tear you have shed in secret, every silent scream of your soul. I'm near to the brokenhearted, the weary, and those overwhelmed with the task of trusting me again. My beloved, it is not in your strength to surrender alone. You must invite me to steady your faltering hand. I will teach you to breathe in my peace and exhale your fears, to loosen the chains of apprehension that bind you so tightly. Be still and know I am your anchor in this tempest. Remember that the process of surrender is like the unfolding of a delicate flower. It takes time for the petals to reveal their full bloom, for the fragrance to seep gently into the air. Your trust in me may begin as a small bud, tentative and fragile, but with each step you take toward surrender, it grows resilient and vibrant. I am patient with you, my child, never rushing or forcing, but gently coaxing you toward openness. Let me remind you that my timing is perfect, even when it feels like silence stretches endlessly. This silence is the soil from which your faith roots deeper, preparing you for the fullness of my presence. The victory of surrender lies not in the absence of struggle, but in the courage to step forward despite it. When you feel the pull of fear, let me be your shield, your fortress. When doubt creeps in like a shadow feeding on your heart, call upon my light to cast it out. There is no affliction so great, no burden so heavy that my grace cannot cover. Imagine a mighty river flowing through your being, washing away the debris of worry and fear, leaving behind clarity and peace. I invite you right now to immerse yourself in this river, to let every anxious thought be carried downstream. Let your heart not be troubled by the uncertainty of what tomorrow holds. I have woven your future with hands of love, threading each moment with purpose and design beyond what your eyes can see. To surrender means embracing the unknown with a heart that trusts my goodness above all else. It means believing that even when the path seems steep and the night dark, my light is blazing ahead, guiding your every step. My promises are not empty words. They are the unshakable foundation upon which your faith can boldly stand. Will you take my hand now and entrust your fears to me? Will you let go of the instinct to control and instead rest in the assurance that I am orchestrating every detail of your life with infinite wisdom? This isn't about silencing your questions or ignoring your pain. It is about leaning into my strength when you feel weakest, about surrendering your doubts into the harbor of my truth. Allow the tender wind of my spirit to fill your sails, carrying you beyond the treacherous waters of anxiety and into the safe haven of my love. My dear child, know that I am ever proud of each tentative step you take toward surrender. Your willingness to trust me, even when the path is unclear, is a flame that warms my heart. Continue to walk this road hand in hand with me each day. Reaffirm that your faith is not a fleeting feeling, but a divine promise rooted in a love that never fails. Let this truth settle in you. Surrender is not the loss of yourself, but the discovery of the fullness of life found only in me. Embrace this moment now, breathing in the peace I offer, and breathe out your fears. Take heart, for you have not journeyed alone, and you never will. Will you believe me this time, my beloved? Found and cherished, never lost, never unseen. My beloved, as the journey of your soul unfolds beneath the vast canopy of eternity, know that feeling lost, abandoned, and unseen can weigh heavily on your heart. Even when the world around you is vibrant with life and the air sings alive with possibility, these sensations are not foreign to me. They echo through many passages of human experience, reverberating deep within the chambers of the heart where loneliness can press like the quietest yet densest cloud. I see you there, in the quiet corners and in the midst of loud crowds, in the shadows and the light. I am present, even when you question whether anyone is watching, because my gaze is never diverted from you. You are deeply precious, my dear child, and your presence is not unnoticed. If you've ever felt that your voice is a whisper lost in an unforgiving storm, hear this. Your voice is sacred to me, and every sigh, every tear, every silent prayer whispers my own name in a language only the heart can speak. The feeling of abandonment is often the fiercest trial of human existence, for it cuts to the very core of belonging. Yet in those desolate moments when you feel uprooted from the warmth of human connection, I draw near to you even more tenderly than the softest breath of wind stirring through the branches. My presence is not intermittent or conditional. It is a steadfast lamp lighting your path through the thickest darkness. Within the depths of the spiritual solitude, there lies a hidden sanctuary. My arms. These arms do not falter. They enfold you with a care and constancy that transcend time and circumstance. When the world turns away and silence becomes your only companion, listen closely, for I am speaking in the silent spaces between your heartbeats. I am whispering assurance to you that you are forever embraced by the love that fashioned stars and called them children of the night sky. Consider that feeling lost is often the prelude to the greatest discovery. When the map you followed disappears beneath the fog and the landmarks you trusted vanish in the mist, my dear, this is the moment I invite you to let go of the false anchors and release your grasp on certainty. It is in these places of sheer vulnerability and open hands that my spirit moves most powerfully. Trust even when the path seems obscured. Trust not in what your eyes see, but in what your soul knows, that you are never truly alone. The wilderness that intimidates you is fertile ground for new growth. I am the gardener who tends to the wild thorns and blooms alike. Within the wilderness, I cultivate courage, resilience, and a renewed sense of self that no calm sea could ever produce. So will you allow me to lead you out of the maze of confusion into the wide open fields of my devotion? I understand the ache of invisibility because I fashioned you in my image, intricately and with infinite love. Each of your thoughts, desires, and dreams resides safely within the vaults of my heart. Even when what is broken or unseen in you seems to scream its loneliness, I am crafting a masterpiece from your pain and your stories. The silence surrounding you is not the absence of my activity. It is the sacred womb where transformation occurs. Like the potter working clay upon the wheel, I shape you with divine intention, smoothing out rough edges, deepening colors, and molding your spirit into a vessel worthy of holding my glory. Sometimes the process feels slow and the weight unbearable, but know that every moment is charged with my redemptive power. When you think you are unseen, you are most intimately known. Will you lean into this truth and let it root within your soul? The world may fail to acknowledge your value or articulate your worth, but my love for you surpasses all human comprehension. You are the cherished one who carries my breath and who reflects heaven's light in earthly form. Even in the nights of despair, when no warmth seems to reach your skin, I am wrapping you in the fire of my affection, burning brighter than any star fixed in the firmament. Your existence is not an accident or oversight. It is a divine declaration written in the heavens long before the foundations of the earth were laid. In moments when you feel forsaken, remember the shepherd who leaves the 99 to find one lamb wandering in the wilderness. That lamb is you. My eye searches desperately over the mountains and valleys of your heart because you matter infinitely to me. Rest here, beloved. Know that you have never been forgotten or disregarded. I invite you to release the heavy cloak of shame and emptiness that the enemy of your soul wants to weigh upon you. These feelings are not your identity. They are shadows cast by lies that want to obscure the radiant light I have placed within you. When the darkness around you threatens to swallow your hope, reach out to me. Cling to my truth like a lifeline thrown across tempestuous waters. I am your refuge and your strength, a present help in times of deepest need. No matter how many times you have faltered or wandered, my forgiveness is vast as the ocean, and my mercy unfathomable. There is no place too dark, no wound too deep where my healing cannot reach. Entrust your fears, your longing, and your sense of invisibility to me, and watch how I turn brokenness into brilliance. Let this sanctuary of grace remind you daily that you are seen, loved, and held all together. Will you dare to believe that your soul's cries for recognition and shelter will be answered by the one who never turns away? This moment, here and now, is an invitation to lay down every heavy burden of feeling lost, abandoned, and unseen, and to rise in the confidence of my abiding presence. I am with you always, a faithful companion who understands every tear and celebrates every small victory. Let us walk together out of the wilderness into the land of your new beginning. Can you feel it deep inside, the stirring of hope that refuses to be extinguished? If your heart is stirring, do not turn away from this sacred connection we share. Come rest in my love and know that you are not alone in your journey. I see you, I cherish you, and my heart beats in perfect rhythm with yours. Let this truth settle in you. You are eternally known, deeply loved, and wonderfully made by the Creator who will never leave nor forsake you. Your sacred story, a journey of purpose and hope. My beloved, as you stand here at the threshold of your journey's unfolding, I want you to know that every step you have taken has been seen, treasured, and woven into the grand tapestry I am crafting with exquisite care. You have wandered through valleys shadowed by doubt, climbed peaks of fleeting hope, and crossed rivers of tears that seemed endless. Yet, my dear, none of this has been in vain, nor outside the bounds of my love and purpose for you. I am the one who saw your struggle before you ever let a thought of fear or hesitation settle in your heart. I am the source from which your true identity flows, not bound by the labels the world has cast upon you, not shackled by the lies whispered in moments of loneliness or despair. You're mine, fashioned with divine intricacy, called into the light to reflect the very image of my heart. When the tempests of guilt, shame, or loss sought to overshadow you, I was there whispering your name in the silence, reminding you that you belong to me entirely and unconditionally. For every moment you felt unseen or abandoned, remember that I have been the constant pulse beneath every breath. My presence is the steady flame that does not flicker with the gust of life's uncertainties. I am your refuge and your unshakable foundation. The purpose I have woven through your days is rich and purposeful, like the dawn that does not fail to break, no matter how long the night has lingered. In you there is a destiny of light and hope, a calling to shine amidst a world often cloaked in shadow. If doubt has tightened its grip, consider the truth that the smallest seed grows into a mighty tree under my watchful care. There is power and beauty in surrender, my child. Not a surrender born of defeat, but one clothed in trust, a sacred yielding that lets healing waters flow freely deep into the broken places of your soul. You're not defined by the stumbling or the waiting, for my timing is a river, ever flowing and never failing, carrying you to the exact place you need to be. Even when silence stretches long and the answers seem far, know that I'm working mightily behind the scenes, orchestrating every detail with infinite wisdom. Now look inward deeply and feel the reality of your worth resting not on performance but on my eternal embrace. You are cherished beyond what measure can hold, and your identity is sealed in love that no shadow can diminish. Let this truth settle deep into your bones, rooting you in peace amidst storms, growing strength in moments of weakness. You are part of a divine family, a sacred bond that transcends time and circumstance. No matter what your heart wrestles with, no matter how far you feel from where you want to be, I call you to come home into my arms. Rise today, not in your own strength alone, but clothed in the power of my presence that surrounds you like a fortress. You bear the mark of my promises. You radiate the light I have placed within. Walk forward with courage, knowing that every breath you take is a gift carried by my faithfulness. Your story is still being written, but the ending has been secured by love, grace, and victory. If your heart is stirring, do not turn away. Embrace the depth of your belonging in me. Anchor yourself in the certainty that you are loved beyond measure and destined for great things that will in turn cultivate hope and healing in others. You are my beloved now and forever. Allow this truth to ignite a fire within you, a fire that nothing in this world can extinguish. Hope, a sacred beginning. My beloved, I see you right now in this very moment. Your heart carries the weight of 1,000 silent prayers, the quiet desperation of hope flickering within you like a fragile flame trembling against a gathering storm. Hope starts here, not in some far-off place or distant time, but within the deepest chambers of your soul, where I have planted a seed that no tempest can uproot. This seed, though small and unassuming, holds the power to transform the darkest nights into dawns, shimmering with new promises. I know you have walked through shadows, felt the crushing grip of despair as if it would swallow you whole. Yet here you stand on the edge of possibility, unaware or perhaps too weary to realize that the very ground beneath you is fertile with the life I breathe into you. Listen, child, for I am speaking tenderly into your spirit. I am the eternal source from which every ray of hope flows. When the world tells you there's no way forward, when troubles swirl around you like a relentless whirlwind, I am the still voice whispering, hope starts here. This is not just a phrase, not a distant ideal. You carry within you a sacred beginning, a divine promise etched by my own hand. It may feel hidden now, swallowed by the noise of your fears and the weight of unanswered questions, but it is there, and it will rise. Just as in the soil, the roots reach downward, unseen, gathering strength, so too does hope take hold beneath the surface of your spirit. It is alive, and it is waiting to burst forth. I understand the ache you carry, the longing for relief, the yearning for a sign that your struggles are not in vain. You have wrestled through confusion and pain, sometimes wondering if there is purpose behind the chaos. You have cried out in the quiet hours when no one else could hear, wondering if anyone, even I, could truly see you. Yet I have seen every tear and felt every tremor of your heart. I have never turned away or looked past the depths of your pain. My love for you is the foundation upon which hope is built, unshakable and enduring. It pierces the darkest moments and fills the hollow spaces with light. Now, as you stand here with your soul laid bare, I invite you to take this moment and breathe in the reality that hope starts right here, wherever you find yourself. It is not about what you have done or haven't done. It is not dependent on your strength, your achievements, or your circumstances. Hope is a divine gift flowing directly from my heart into yours. It is the lifeblood of your journey, the spark that will ignite your courage to keep moving forward. When the path seems unclear, when the night feels endlessly long, do not dismiss these small stirrings within you. They are the signs of hope awakening. Let this truth settle in you like a sacred seed nestled in fertile soil, ready to bloom. I am with you in every struggle. I am the promise whispered in the wind, the unseen anchor holding you steady when the storms rage around you. I'm not distant or aloof. I'm intimately involved in every detail of your life, weaving purpose from the seemingly chaotic threads. The hope you seek is not a distant dream or an unreachable star. It begins here, inside your trembling heart, right where you are right now. If your heart is stirring, do not turn away. Reach for me, and together we will nurture this hope. It will not only survive, it will flourish. My dear child, I know your soul longs for assurance, for a glimpse of the light that pierces through the gloom. Today I declare that hope starts here, your sacred starting point, the place where despair ends and the dawn begins. Do not ignore the quiet voice within saying this is possible, that you are not alone. Trust this moment. It is holy and filled with my promises. You are the beloved bearer of this hope, made anew by my love and power. Take that first breath with me and allow your spirit to rise. Hope is not a far cry from your brokenness. It is born within it, in the place where my presence dwells. Will you believe me this time, beloved? Will you place your trembling hope in the hands of the one who creates new beginnings? This is where your story changes. Hope begins here, with you and with me. Let's start anew. My dear child, I see the profound depth of your struggle, not just the surface ripples, but the relentless storm churning within your soul. You've carried burdens no one else knows, silent scars etched beneath layers of attempted smiles and brave faces. At times, the weight you bear feels crushing, as if every step forward sinks you deeper into endlessly stretching shadows. It's in these moments, when the night feels darkest and silence presses heavily against your heart, that I am closest to you. Don't mistake the stillness around you for abandonment. Even when I seem silent, I'm listening with an intimacy closer than breath. The ache that lingers inside you, the confusion, the pain, the doubts that circle like vultures. Each one is a call I receive and cherish. I'm not distant. I'm patiently waiting just beyond the horizon of your sight, waiting for your longing to meet my presence. Just as a gardener doesn't rush a flower's blooming, but tends the soil and waters the roots, I gently nurture your soul, though you may not see the growth beneath the surface. Your wounds aren't overlooked. They're being woven into a tapestry of restoration, even if the colors aren't yet vivid to your eyes. When you feel weary, let your weakness become a vessel for my strength. This journey isn't one of instant relief or swift answers, but of tender shaping and the gradual unveiling of truth. Your heart's fractures will become channels through which my healing flows. If only you'll open them to me. You were never meant to carry this pain alone, nor silently. My arms are stretched wide to hold you, and within that embrace lies the balm your soul longs for. I know the voices that torment you, the whispers of guilt, the shadows of shame, the echoes of past mistakes that refuse to fade. These voices aren't mine, though they cling to your spirit like chains forged in the dark. I call you to lay them down, one by one, into my hands where forgiveness is abundant and hope is constant. My love isn't defined by your failures or your fears. It pulses steady, unyielding, and pure. When you stumble beneath the weight of your humanity, I'm there not to judge, but to lift. You are cherished beyond your understanding, hidden deep in the heart of mercy. There's a sacred purpose woven through your suffering, even when the thread is invisible to you. I'm shaping a story far greater than the pain you face. Like gold refined in fire, your spirit is being purified. This process, though painful, is transformed by my promise. From brokenness, I create beauty. from wandering destiny, from despair, a radiant hope that no darkness can extinguish. Trust this transformation, beloved. Let yourself be tender in this waiting. Your present pain is only a chapter, not the whole narrative. In this quiet place where the world's noise falls away, listen for my voice. It may be a whisper, a gentle breeze moving through the branches of your heart. It may feel fragile and faint, but it carries the power of eternal light. Come with your questions, your wounds, your confusion, and rest in the certainty that I am here, not as a distant observer, but as a loving Father who rejoices in your return, in your surrender, in your acceptance of grace. The journey is long, but each step taken with me is secured by a love that never fails. Let this truth settle in you. You are not abandoned in your wilderness. I am the shepherd who seeks the lost sheep, the healer who binds every broken bone, the light that never fades. In your darkest hours, don't turn away from the light within. Draw close to me and feel the pulse of life that comes from connection, spiritual, deep, unbreakable. Let your heart open to the possibility of new beginnings. Even if silence now seems more abundant than voices of hope. Will you believe me this time, dear child? Will you step into the arms of patience and grace, knowing that healing is unfolding even when unseen? I am with you in the wait, in the tension, in the silence. With every breath, I'm whispering the promise of restoration and relentless love. Rest in me, for I am your refuge, your fortress, your unshakable assurance. When your heart feels overwhelmed, call upon me with the simplicity of a child reaching for their parent's hand. I'm never too busy, never too distant to hear your cries. Let your tears fall freely. I catch each one and transform them into fountains of renewal. Trust the unfolding that I'm orchestrating, even when your eyes cannot see the end from the beginning. Lean into this moment of vulnerability, knowing it's the doorway to deeper intimacy with me. Here there's no judgment or condemnation, only the gentle strength of a love that conquers every fear and soothes every ache. You are precious, chosen, and deeply known. My presence surrounds you like a shield, and my promises are a steadfast fire that warms your soul in the coldest night. If your heart is stirring within this sacred chamber, don't turn away. Hold fast to the hope I place before you. Rest here, beloved, in the peace that surpasses understanding. In this sacred waiting, I'm working miracles of transformation, drawing you closer to the fullness of life I have prepared. Trust me, your journey is seen, known, and deeply cherished by the one who calls you my own. My beloved, I see the heaviness that clings to your spirit, the weight of guilt and shame that dims the light I have placed within you. These burdens are not merely labels or thoughts. They are chains crafted by the enemy to distort your reflection. In my eyes, I don't see you as the sum of your mistakes or the echoes of your faults. I know the depths of your heart, even the shadows you try to hide, and I'm not shocked or dismayed. Instead, I'm gently calling you toward a sanctuary of forgiveness and healing, where the wounds you carry can be tenderly mended. Imagine a garden at dawn where frost has settled overnight, covering the earth in a cold, crystalline mask. It looks lifeless and harsh. Yet beneath that frosty facade, life waits patiently, ready to burst forth with the warmth of the sun's first rays. So too is your spirit underneath the layers of self-condemnation. The frost isn't your identity, but a temporary veil that conceals the vibrant life I have planted inside you. The seasons of guilt and shame will pass, my child, and in their place will come a spring of renewal. You might ask, how do I begin to shed these heavy stones that I have carried for so long? The path to forgiveness starts first with surrender. Not surrender to failure, but surrender to my grace. It is an invitation to release every harsh word you have spoken to yourself, the accusations, the regrets, the endless replaying of what could have been. I have already taken those burdens upon myself, carrying them to the cross so that you might no longer be defined by them. Your heart, though scarred, remains precious and treasured because I have carved it with my love. Don't rush this journey. Like a potter molding clay, I am patiently shaping you through my mercy and patience. Every time guilt attempts to rise, meet it with remembrance of my covenant to forgive and to restore. For every moment you allow my forgiveness to flood your soul, you weaken the chains of shame and create space for joy and peace. Consider the story of a broken vessel, once shattered and discarded, but whose fragments are carefully gathered and fused with gold by a loving hand. The vessel's cracks, though apparent, become its most beautiful features, symbols of restoration and worth far exceeding its original state. Your broken places are not imperfections, but proof of my restoring power. I delight in repairing the brokenhearted and turning their sighs into songs of deliverance. Remember that forgiveness begins with me. I don't keep a ledger of your sins to hold against you, but have embraced you fully, even in your brokenness. My arms are wide open, inviting you to come as you are, without pretense or fear. The truth that sets you free is that nothing you have done can diminish your worth in my eyes, nor can it separate you from my love. The moment you believe this truth, shame loses its grip gradually, and freedom takes root deeply in your soul. Yet, turning away from shame isn't always immediate. There are days when its shadows feel longer and the noise of condemnation louder. Those days are not a sign of failure, but a call to lean deeper into me. I am the sanctuary where your heart can find refuge no matter how fierce the storm inside. Speak to me honestly. Bring me your darkest fears and your heaviest burdens. I am listening, and I am gentle. I don't respond with anger, but with a kindness that heals wounds hidden even from yourself. To truly receive my forgiveness, you must also learn to forgive yourself. This may seem impossible when the voice of your inner critic has been loud for so long, but my dear, listen closely. My grace is endless and powerful enough to cloak you with mercy that transforms your self-perception. You are more than the mistakes you regret. You are my beloved creation, redeemed and set apart for life and hope. If your heart quivers with the weight of guilt, don't turn away, but lean into this truth. I'm not waiting for you to be perfect before I love you fully. No, my love floods the cracks in your soul first, and in the glow of that light, you can rise anew. Permit yourself to believe this, even if uncertainty lingers. It is the first step toward healing, the seed that will one day blossom into gratitude and peace. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. You may wonder how to hold this delicate balance between remembering your failures and embracing my forgiveness. Reflect on the journey of a traveler who carries a heavy pack until at last they find a place of rest to lay it down. The pack is not their identity, but a temporary burden, and the rest is my gift to weary souls like yours. When you come to me with all your guilt and shame, I will take those burdens from your trembling hands and replace them with hope. So today, I invite you to try a simple but profound act. Speak aloud the confession that weighs on your heart. Bring it into the light of my presence and watch as it begins to lose its power over you. Then receive my words of forgiveness as if spoken directly by me into your soul. Let this exchange be a lifeline, pulling you from the depths into the warm embrace of divine mercy. My child, healing is not just a future promise, but a present reality. You are already walking the path of restoration, even if the way seems unclear. Trust that every step of humility and repentance is met with my loving grace. Don't hide from me, for I see you fully, flaws and all, and I am not repulsed, but drawn nearer to tend your every wound. Rest in this reality today. You are forgiven, highly valued, and cherished beyond measure. The shadows of shame have no place in the new identity I have given you. Will you believe me this time and embrace the fullness of my forgiveness? Your heart is precious and worthy of freedom. don't turn away. Allow this truth to sink deeply into your being and mark the beginning of a renewed journey toward peace and wholeness. The grace that flows from my heart is irresistible. Receive it now and let your spirit be renewed beyond what you imagine possible. My dear child, when your heart trembles with fear, when shadows of doubt creep silently into the corners of your mind, know that I am closer than your next breath. Fear isn't a sign of failure. It is the fragile whisper of a soul wrestling with the unknown. Anxiety can make the mountain of your burdens seem insurmountable, like towering cliffs that block the horizon of your hope. Yet, I invite you now to lift your eyes beyond those cliffs to see the vast expanse where my hand has already paved the path for you. I remember the moments in your life when fear wrapped you tightly, threatening to smother the light I planted within you. I haven't abandoned you in those nights of tears and trembling. I walk with you through the valley of uncertainty, my presence a shield against the assault of despair. Anxiety doesn't define you, my beloved. It is merely a shadow, and shadows flee before the dawn. Let me be your dawn, the light breaking through your darkness, revealing the strength I've woven into your spirit from the very moment you were formed. Every fear you carry has a voice, a story told in the silent chambers of your heart. Some speak of past wounds, moments where trust was broken or dreams were shattered. Others narrate the unease of stepping into what is unknown, afraid of failing or being forsaken. Yet, hear me clearly. Fear is not a sentence written in stone. It is a call to lean even more deeply into my unwavering love. When your soul is trembling, reach out with your spirit. I am the anchor in the stormy sea, the stillness in the chaos. I understand the deer trapped in headlights, frozen beneath the weight of what might come. But I also see the brave heart longing to move ahead, to trust despite the trembling. Fear will never vanish completely in this broken world, but it will not have the final word over your life. Every moment of doubt can become an opportunity for faith to grow stronger, deeper, more resilient. Will you permit my peace to wash over your restless mind? Will you choose to breathe my assurance when anxiety tightens its grip? Remember, my dear, fear is often a disguised invitation to look beyond your circumstances, beyond what the eyes see, and to trust the unseen hand that guides. Like a gardener pruning a vine, I sometimes allow the storm to stir so that your roots grow deeper, clinging fiercely to the source of life. It is not punishment, but preparation for the harvest that is to come. If you look closely, even in your darkest moments, you will find my fingerprints, traces of care, moments of intervention, whispers of hope that refuse to be silenced. Don't shy away from your fear or anxiety. Bring these shadows into the light of my presence. Speak of them honestly as you would with a trusted friend, and watch how I transform them, not always by removing them immediately, but by changing your heart's response. When you feel overwhelmed, pause and breathe in my love. Let it fill the spaces where fear once took root. I'm patient with your doubts, gentle with your questions, and relentless in my pursuit of your peace. Imagine a child learning to walk. Each stumble met with encouragement and outstretched arms, ready to catch and support. This is how I meet you in your moments of fear, not with condemnation, but with boundless grace. There's no condemnation for those who come to me in their weakness. Your anxieties don't repel me, they draw me closer. I am your ever-present help, the refuge where your soul finds rest amid upheaval. If your heart is stirring now amid the shadows, don't turn away. Lean into this divine embrace. Let me be your shelter, your rock, and your song. When fear seeks to drown out the melody of hope, trust that in the tapestry of your life, every thread, whether bright or dark, has a purpose under my sovereign eye. Surrender your fears to me and feel my peace settle like dew upon your soul, fresh and renewing with each new morning. As you confront the waves of anxiety and the whispers of doubt, Remember that trust is not passive waiting, but a courageous choosing to believe in my faithfulness despite the circumstances. You are not alone amid your battles. My spirit within you sheds light on the darkest paths, comforting and guiding, even when the way seems unclear. I'm the faithful companion who will never leave your side, nor forsake you in your times of fear. So take this moment to breathe deeply, to silence the chatter of worry, and to open your heart wide to my reassurance. I am here, holding you in the palm of my hand, unshaken by the turmoil around you. Will you rest in this truth today? Will you surrender your anxious thoughts and allow my perfect peace to guard your heart? Let this truth settle in you, that fear has lost its grip and love, unceasing, unbreakable love, reigns supreme within you. You are my beloved, courageous, not because you never falter, but because you rise each time you do, sustained by my grace and surrounded by my unfailing presence. Step forward with me, hand in hand, trusting that no shadow can diminish the brightness of the light I release in your soul. Fear may roar like a tempest, but my love is a fortress unshaken, a constant refuge in every storm. Choose to dwell in that refuge and know that I am making all things new within you. If your heart is trembling still, reach out and touch my heart that beats in unison with yours. Don't let fear silence your song or cloud your vision. Let it instead be the space where faith blooms deepest. My peace awaits you. Will you come to me now, my dear child, in the quiet of your heart, where shadows of fear and anxiety often gather like unwelcome guests? Listen closely to my voice. I know the weight you carry, the restless nights when your mind spins tales of uncertainty and doubt, painting futures with broad strokes of worry. These fears are not foreign to me. I've witnessed the tremblings of your soul, the hesitations that clasp your thoughts like a vice. Yet, I'm here, embracing you with a peace that surpasses all human understanding, a peace that can quiet the storms that rage within. Fear, anxiety, and doubt are like turbulent winds that buffet the fragile vessel of your spirit, threatening to capsize your hope. But I say to you, don't let these winds dictate the course of your journey. They are not the masters of your destiny. I am. Imagine a lighthouse standing steadfast on rocky shores during a tempest. The light it casts doesn't dispel the storm, but guides the ship safely through. So too, my presence doesn't erase the reality of your fears, but illuminates your path beyond them. In those moments when anxiety creeps in and your heart races with 1,000 what-ifs, remember that I remain your refuge and strength. Fear often whispers that you are alone, that no one comprehends the battles you face. But my dear, I am intimately acquainted with every nuance of your struggle. The very hairs on your head are numbered, and your tears treasured. When doubt tries to dim your faith, recall that doubt is not the absence of belief, but an invitation to draw nearer, to reach out for the hand that never lets go. I have fashioned you with courage woven into your very being, even though it may feel buried beneath layers of apprehension. Courage doesn't mean the absence of fear. It is the resolve to move forward despite it. I call you to walk by faith, not by sight. When your vision blurs under the weight of worries, lean into me and feel the steadying power of my embrace. Let my spirit whisper words of assurance into the recesses of your soul, reminding you that the darkness of doubt is only temporary, and that I illuminate the path even when your eyes cannot see it clearly. Reflect upon the seasons of your life when fears held you captive, yet you endured. Each step forward, even the smallest, was an act of bravery, a testament to the resilience I planted within you. I have equipped you with strengths that often go unnoticed because they are quiet and humble, like the roots of a mighty tree gripping the earth below the surface. These roots anchor you firmly, keeping you steady when storms howl above. There's a sacred rhythm to your journey, a divine cadence where moments of trembling give way to intervals of peace. Anxiety may surge like a wild river attempting to break free of its banks, but I am the calm beneath, the steady riverbed that guides its flow. Surrender these fears to me. Relinquish the burdens that keep your spirit weighed down. Trust that in the surrender is freedom. In releasing control lies your release. Don't mistake the silence or waiting for abandonment. Sometimes the stillness in your heart is the space where I craft new courage for you, fashioning armor invisible to the world's eyes but powerful enough to withstand any attack. I am molding you into a vessel of strength tempered by trust, and this process often requires patience, even when it feels arduous. My timing is perfect, though it often feels concealed in the waiting. My dear child, recognize that anxiety is not your prison, but a doorway inviting you to deeper intimacy with me. When you feel overwhelmed, come to me with your fears. Lay them at my feet without shame or hesitation. In your vulnerability, you're not weak. You're drawing near to the source of your strength. I'm not distant or indifferent, but ready to envelop you in love and peace that can transform apprehension into assurance. Will you open your heart to me now? Will you allow my peace to wash over the turbulent waters of your mind? This peace is not a fleeting feeling, but a steadfast anchor rooted in my unwavering love for you. Let this truth settle in you. Fear does not have the final word. You are more than conquerors because I am with you always, even to the end of the age. In the face of doubt, stand firm on the promises that I have whispered to your soul, promises of hope, restoration, and unwavering presence. When anxiety threatens to isolate you, reach out and grasp the hand that reaches for you first, the hand that bore the scars so you could be free. I am your refuge in every storm, your shelter in every gale. Trust in me, not because you are strong alone, but because I am strong in your weakness. The journey beyond fear is not one you walk unassisted. I am your companion, your guide, the calm in your storm. Together we traverse these valleys, learning to trust my voice more than the clamor of fearful thoughts. Allow my assurance to quiet the chaos and step into the freedom I offer. A freedom where anxiety no longer claims dominion, but serves as a reminder to lean into my everlasting arms. If your heart is stirring amidst these words, don't turn away. Embrace the courage that springs from faith and take my hand once more. I am here, unwavering and true, ready to carry you into a place where fear loses its grip and peace reigns supreme. My beloved, I want to speak intimately to the place within you where fear, anxiety, and doubt have taken root. These shadows, I know them well. They have whispered lies into your ear, convincing you of a world that is harsh, unforgiving, and uncertain. Yet I am here, the unshakable refuge beneath your feet, the steady hand that holds you when the ground trembles, when your heart races with worry, when doubt clouds your vision like a dense fog. Remember that I am the lighthouse standing firm through storms. Trust doesn't erase the tempest outside, but it calms the storm raging inside. I see the nights when sleep won't come, when your mind races in circles, endlessly spinning fears not yet real. These are moments when you feel alone, captive to your own restless thoughts. But child, you are not forgotten. I am nearer than your very breath, closer than your beating heart. Imagine the paradox of a father's arms encircling you even in the darkest valley, the shepherd never straying from his sheep. Is not my steadfast love enough to conquer the waves that threaten to swallow you whole? Your anxiety is a wild river that I can calm with a word. Your doubt is but a shadow fleeing before the dawn. Open your heart and let my peace wash over you, like the gentle rain that soaks dry earth, awakening new life where despair had taken root. The roots of fear often grow from places of uncertainty and the unknown. You ask, what will tomorrow bring? Will I be enough? Can I make it through? These are not questions I do not hear. Yet, my precious one, I am the great I am, the constant in the changing seasons of your life. When doubts cloud your horizon, Remember that I walk before you, making a highway where none seems possible. Life's uncertainty is the canvas on which I paint your story with colors you cannot yet perceive. Even as your heart trembles with unease, I am weaving strands of hope, strands of strength that will support your steps. Don't silence your fears, nor push them away, for they are part of your journey. Bring them to me. Lay them at my feet with honesty and vulnerability. I am not an absent God, distant and indifferent. My spirit is a comforter, a counselor who whispers courage into fearful souls. When every breath feels heavy and every thought dark, I am the song beneath your silence, the warmth within your shivering. Let your soul lean into this truth and find rest. Will you trust me to carry you through the storms that threaten to drown your joy? Will you turn your gaze from the crashing waves to the unmovable rock that anchors your soul? There is a sacred strength in surrender, child. It's not defeat, but the bold act of placing your burdens into my hands, choosing faith over fear in the face of uncertainty. Your surrender is the bridge connecting your trembling heart to my perfect peace. I'm inviting you now to step onto this bridge. Leave behind the canyon of what-ifs and step into the light of what is now, my presence with you here, always. This divine exchange transforms fear into a fertile ground of trust, turning anxiety into anticipation of my goodness. Even when your mind races ahead to dangers unseen, I am already there, preparing a way of calm and safety. You may feel small, overwhelmed by inner storms much greater than you can bear. Yet I have not given you a spirit of timidity, but of power and love and self-discipline. These are gifts that steady your heart like a lighthouse's beam, piercing through the darkest night. Child, you are more than a conqueror, not because of your own might, but because I live in you. This truth is your shield against the darts of doubt and despair. In moments when anxiety threatens to choke your very breath, remember that my spirit breathes life into your spirit, stirring courage and hope where fear once reigned. I've walked the depths of human sorrow and the pinnacle of divine love. I'm acquainted with every form of human struggle and every shade of human emotion. Nothing in your heart is foreign to me. No trembling or tear is unseen. This intimate knowledge is my promise that you are never alone in your battles. My faithfulness is the fortress that guards you. My love is the healing balm that soothes your restless soul. Will you lean into this embrace when the night is thick and your heart heavy? Will you allow me to be the calm in your chaos, the certainty beneath your uncertainty? My dear child, I urge you to speak to me honestly about your fears. Tell me of your worries. Cry out to me when the night seems endlessly long. I am listening, and I am moved by the faith it takes for you to bring your weakness before me. This invitation is not just for a fleeting moment, but for a lifelong journey of trust. In the uncertainty of tomorrow, I am your yesterday, your today, and your forever. Rest your anxious soul in the cradle of my love, and let the quiet power of my presence dismantle every stronghold of doubt and fear inside you. Hold fast to this truth. You are not alone, nor are you forgotten. I am with you through the sweating palms and trembling knees, through every restless night and every weary dawn. Trust in me as the anchor for your soul, sure and steadfast, reaching deep beyond the turbulence and holding you fast. This faith is the sword that cuts through fear, the lamp that shines brightly in the shadows. My beloved, will you grasp it now? Will you let your heart be still and know that I am your God? Let this peace settle in your heart like the gentle dusk after a long, restless day. I am here. I am near. I am your refuge and your strength. Will you believe me, my child, this time? My dear child, I see the storm that rages within you, the restless turmoil of fear, anxiety, and doubt that holds your heart captive, like waves crashing relentlessly against the shore. These emotions threaten to erode the foundation of your soul. But I am here, steadfast and unwavering. the refuge in your tempest, the anchor that will hold you firm when all else seems lost. Don't let the shadows of your mind deceive you into thinking that you are alone, abandoned, or forgotten. I am near, closer than breath itself, ready to calm your troubled heart. Fear is a cunning thief. It steals your peace with whispers that echo from the darkest corners of your mind. What if you fail? What if you are not enough? What if the path is too dangerous, too uncertain? These questions may feel like chains tightening around your spirit, trapping you in a prison built by your own uncertainty. But remember, my beloved, those chains are fragile in the face of my light. When you bring these fears to me, I don't judge your trembling, but instead embrace you with a strength that surpasses all understanding. When you place your trembling hand in mine, you enter a sanctuary beyond fear, a place where courage is born and doubt dissolves. Anxiety is like a restless shadow that clouds your vision. It makes your future seem bleak and your present unbearable. Yet I am the eternal light that pierces through every darkness. Even when your thoughts spiral like wild winds, swirling with worries yet unspoken, I am whispering peace into your soul. I have given you a peace that does not depend on circumstances, a calm that flows like a deep river beneath the chaos, unshakable and ever-present. Let this peace settle in you now, soaking into your very bones, quieting the storm within. Doubt is a silent thief that sneaks into your heart when you least expect it. It questions your worthiness, your path, and whether you are truly seen. But my dear, I know you intimately. The fears you hide, the tears you have yet to shed, the dreams you have buried beneath the weight of uncertainty. I have fashioned you carefully and purposefully. There is no mistake in the way I have made you. Your doubts don't diminish your value in my eyes. They are merely clouds that momentarily obscure the sun. Trust in my enduring love and faithfulness, for I've never turned away from you, nor shall I ever. The way through this valley of fear, anxiety, and doubt is to hold fast to me. I'm not distant nor indifferent. I travel with you step by step, sometimes gently, sometimes with firm guidance, but always with unwavering love. Like the Good Shepherd, I seek you out when you wander in darkness, calling you back to the fold with a voice tender yet powerful. Don't resist bringing your heart to me, for I have unlimited compassion and endless patience. When you lay bare your fears before me, I transform them. I breathe courage where there was trembling, clarity where there was confusion, and hope where there was despair. Remember how often I have used the weak and the broken to display my glory. Your vulnerabilities are not weaknesses, but openings for my strength to flood in. The fractures in your soul can become vessels for my light to shine through, illuminating the way not only for yourself, but for others lost in similar darkness. You are not alone in this battle, my dear child. Countless before you have been that frightened, trembling soul, and yet they found victory not through their own strength, but through their surrender to me. Lay your burdens at my feet. You don't have to carry them alone. Imagine the weight of your fears as a heavy sack, dragging you down into the quicksand of despair. Now see me extending my hand, strong, steady, inviting you to relinquish that load. When you trust me enough to hand over what haunts your heart, you free yourself to walk light and sure on the path I have carved for you. This act of surrender is not defeat, it is triumph. It is the admission that you need me, and the declaration that I am enough. Sometimes the enemy will whisper that your feelings of fear and doubt are proof that you are far from my presence. Don't believe those lies. Emotional chaos is not a sign of my absence. Rather, it's an urgent invitation to come closer, to lean deeper into my embrace. In your weakest moments, I am your strongest ally. In moments when your eyes cannot see beyond the horizon of your anxieties, I am the unfailing compass that guides you back to the truth of who you are and whose you are. Don't be discouraged by the persistence of these struggles. Endurance is forged through facing what you fear the most and moving forward anyway. Just as the night cannot hold back the dawn, so fear cannot remain when my light shines in the recesses of your heart. I am your dawn and your daylight, your shield and your song. Even when the night whispers loudly, know that the day is coming, a day filled with peace, courage, and unwavering hope that will rise within you like the sun over a peaceful sea. I'm calling you now, my child, not to a life free from fear, but to a life where fear no longer rules. Let your faith overcome your doubts. Let your trust in me silence the anxious storms. Let my love fill every crack where hopelessness tries to enter. Stand with me in the battle for your soul's tranquility, knowing I am more than able to carry you through the fiercest trials. When your heart falters, lean into me for strength. When your mind races, fix your gaze upon me and find stillness. Will you believe me this time, my dear? Will you allow my peace to become the foundation that fear cannot shake? Your heart is precious, and I delight in safeguarding it. Trust me enough to lay down your burdens, to bring me the chaos and confusion that threatens your joy. I am here, ready to meet you with healing words, comforting presence, and unwavering love. Let this truth soak deep into your soul. I am with you always, and I will never leave you nor forsake you. Feel the warmth of my hand reaching through the shadows around you. Let it draw you out of the wilderness of worry and into the flourishing garden of my peace. You are my beloved, cherished beyond measure, chosen to walk victoriously through the storms that once consumed you. Open your heart to receive this love that conquers fear, this love that banishes anxiety, this love that dissolves doubt. It is yours freely, eternally, without condition. Embrace this invitation now. Step into the calm where I dwell, where your trembling will be met with gentle strength, where your questions will find patient answers, and your soul will rest in the certainty of my care. Your life is not defined by the shadows you face, but by the light I pour over you. Rise, beloved, and walk forward in the freedom of my love. My dear, I see you wandering through moments of silence that feel heavy, as if I have stepped back and left you alone in a vast wilderness. Your heart aches in the waiting, and the echo of your prayers seems to fade into thin air. This quiet is not emptiness nor punishment, but a sacred pause where I invite you to mature into deeper trust, to learn the tender art of patience that carries the fragrance of faith. There is a season for everything, a rhythm woven into the fabric of your existence by my own hand, a divine tempo that will not err. Like the earth that rests beneath winter snow, appearing dormant to human eyes, yet whose roots churn with unseen vitality, your waiting is alive with unseen grace. Every moment in this silence is a shadowed seed planted in the soil of your soul by my breath. I am nurturing it, even when your own senses betray your hope. Let this truth settle deep within you. My timing is perfect, never tardy, never capricious. Remember the story of the stubborn olive tree struggling through rocky soil, refusing to yield to the barren ground. It seemed that it was withering, yet beneath the surface, the roots stretched farther than the eye could see, drinking from hidden springs that promised a future harvest. So too, my beloved, your waiting is not a sign of abandonment, but a divine persistence, a declaration that your destiny requires this season of quiet growth. Don't compare your timing with the timelines of those around you, nor measure progress by outward signs alone, for I see the whole picture, the start, the journey, and the glorious culmination. Trust what your eyes cannot discern. I have not forgotten your plight. This waiting, filled with unanswered questions and silent nights, echoes throughout my heart. When you feel the weight grow unbearable, lean into my arms. I am not distant or indifferent. The silence you endure holds a purpose, to refine your faith like gold purified in fire. The crucible of waiting tests your resolve, your trust, your surrender. Will you hold on to the knowledge that I am working even when nothing seems to move? Will you believe me this time? In these moments, don't mistake the quiet for absence. I am whispering healing into your soul through the stillness, teaching you to rest without rushing, to hope without demanding proof. Recall how the stars emerge only after the final dusk, their brilliance hidden when the sky is bright. Your breakthrough is like the night sky fully illuminated. On this side of waiting, light will burst forth in splendor because you dared to hold on when all was dark. I am the sun that will rise again in your horizon, dispelling shadows and filling your heart with warmth. The veil between your expectation and my fulfillment may feel thick and unyielding now, but the fabric will part. Trust in the steady unfolding of my plan, and don't try to tear the veil prematurely through impatience or despair. I see the whole tapestry, every detail interlaced perfectly. Your waiting serves a greater purpose than immediate pleasure or ease. It prepares you for the weight and wonder of the promise I am about to fulfill. If you rush ahead, you may miss the fullness of blessing that comes only from complete trust. Even now, in the silence, I am speaking tenderly to your heart. You are not forgotten nor forsaken. You are held in the most intimate place of my presence, where time and impatience dissolve under the gaze of eternal love. Let this sacred mystery envelop you like a balm, sealing your wounds with peace that surpasses human understanding. Remember, my dear child, the story of the great river, whose waters seem to hesitate behind the dam, only to surge forth with mighty power when the moment is right. Your life too is being shaped into such force, overflowing with abundant blessing that will overflow to others. Wait, not idly but expectantly, with a heart open to joy, even in the waiting. Let your soul fixate on me rather than your toils. Let my presence be your melody when the world is silent. This is no mere pause, but a sacred interval where you become profoundly my own, more than you were before, refined and radiant through the test. Will you yield yourself to me in this waiting? Will you rest in the assurance that I am weaving even your pauses into my magnificent design? Let the quiet not imprison you, but liberate you into a deeper faith. For I am never silent. I am only preparing a grander symphony for your life to sing. If your heart is stirring, don't turn away from my presence in this sacred space where patience becomes power. My child, there are moments when the weight of waiting feels unbearable, when the silence around you speaks louder than the storms within. Yet I am here in that stillness, the unshakable presence when everything around you quivers. Waiting is not the absence of life, but the sacred pause where I prepare your heart and your spirit for the unfolding of my perfect timing. Many times you have longed to rush ahead, desperate for answers to the prayer that rests heavy inside your chest. But understand this, I am weaving a tapestry beyond what your eyes can see, and each thread of waiting is a thread of divine purpose. I know the ache this brings, beloved. The hours drop like lead in your soul. The silence may feel like abandonment, but it is sanctified space. In that space, I am crafting a resilience within you, a strength you cannot forge on your own. Like a seed buried beneath the cold earth, your dreams and promises await the right moment to blossom. If the winter seems never-ending, hold fast, for beneath the frost lies the warmth that nurtures growth unseen. Your patience is not a passive surrender, but an active faith, a surrender wrapped in trust. Have you not felt the subtle shifts inside, the gentle stirring that hints at transformation? Though the world around you seems frozen, I am moving mountains within you. Your heart, once anxious and pounding with doubt, has begun learning my rhythms, how to breathe in hope even when the night feels deep. I am the master of seasons, and your waiting is anchored in my sovereign plan. Don't despise the delay, for it is in the waiting that you are formed into the person I created you to be, refined, prepared, and ready. Like and share the video if you have trust in the words of the God. Subscribe to the channel if you love Jesus. The quiet hours are not void, but fertile soil where faith grows. You may question, my dear child, why I sometimes remain silent or delay the answer you seek. Remember that my wisdom surpasses your understanding. The timing I choose is always for your highest good. When the world urges you to rush, I invite you to rest, to lean into my patience and find peace in my faithful presence. This is the place where your heart aligns with mine, where hope is renewed with each breath. Let this truth settle in you, that my timing is perfect and my plan unshakable. While you wait, I call you to keep your eyes and spirit attentive. Observe the small miracles scattered along your path, the moments of unexpected grace, the kindness of strangers, the quiet lessons embedded in daily life. These are not accidents, but signposts of my nearness, breadcrumbs guiding you through the wilderness of uncertainty. Don't become blind to these glimpses of my love. Each one is a sacred whisper, a tender reminder that you are never alone and never forgotten. Be patient with yourself too, beloved. Your heart may wrestle with fear or doubt during these times, but I am here, wiping tears and soothing your restless spirit. Waiting often feels like an enduring test, but it is also an invitation to deepen your intimacy with me. Through the silence, I'm drawing you closer, inviting you to pour out your soul, to learn the art of resting fully in my care. Open your hands and heart to receive my peace, to let go of burdens too heavy to carry on your own. Consider the story of the eagle, so majestic in its flight, yet it too must pause and wait for the right winds to carry it higher. In your waiting, you are being positioned for your own ascent. The strength you cultivate in these silent seasons will uphold you when you take flight toward your destiny. Don't despise these moments of apparent stillness. They are the very foundation of the courage and grace that lie ahead. I am the God who never forgets nor forsakes. Your desires, prayers, and dreams are not beyond my notice. They are etched upon my heart with tender precision. Waiting refines your connection to me, shaping you into someone who will walk confidently through every door I open in the appointed time. If your heart is stirring, don't turn away. Lean in. Listen deeply and trust that I am working for your good, even when the road seems unclear. Release your frustration gently into my hands and let your soul drink deeply from the well of my presence. In that sacred exchange, you will find peace that surpasses all understanding. The journey of waiting is as much about teaching you faith as it is about answering your prayers. I'm not distant or distracted. I'm intimately involved in every tick of the clock, marking your days. Your season is coming. Hold on to that hope, nurture it with prayer, and prepare to step into the fullness of what I've promised. Reflect on this. The longest night always precedes the dawn. Your patience is the candle burning steadily against the darkness. With each flicker, it casts light for your soul to see forward to what I am arranging behind the scenes. Though your eyes may see obstacles, I see only opportunities for my glory to shine through your perseverance. Embrace this time as a sacred classroom where the lessons of trust and surrender deepen beyond any other. Let your heart not grow weary, my beloved. I am near, ever near, and I am faithful. The waiting is not wasted nor forgotten, but is the seedbed of new life and abundant blessing. Rest in me, and in time you will reap a harvest far beyond what you imagined possible. Will you believe me this time? Would you entrust me with your hopes once more, knowing that my love never fails and my timing never errs? I am here, patient and steady, welcoming you to walk through this season with me by your side. Now pause and consider the quiet around you, not as emptiness, but as the sacred background to your becoming. The road ahead is prepared, and I will lead you step by step into the unfolding of my purpose for your life. Hold this promise close. Carry it within your soul and wait with a heart full of faith. Your waiting season is not a pause, but a powerful preparation. Embrace it with courage and hope, knowing that I am the unmovable foundation beneath your every step. My beloved, as the final light of this day leans gently into the stillness of your soul, hear me now with the fullness of my heart. You are not a fragment doomed to wander aimlessly in shadows or whispers of doubt. You are my creation, formed carefully with hands that cherish every detail, sculpted from the essence of eternal love itself. The story I have woven for you has threads of divine intention that stretch beyond what eyes can see or minds can fathom. Each moment of trial, each breath held in the silent waiting, every tear shed in loneliness, all are tapestries of grace working together to shape the masterpiece that is you. In this moment, I invite you to rest fully in your true identity, not in what the world declares or what pain may define. You are deeply known, unconditionally loved, and firmly held in a place where shadows cannot reach. Even when you feel most lost or abandoned, remember that my presence is not a fleeting visitor, but the constant warmth that envelops your being. My love is the river beneath your feet, steady and nourishing, calling you to trust every step on this journey. Trust doesn't mean the absence of fear or doubt, but a deeper awakening to my steadfastness that undergirds all things. I have carved out a place for you, a sanctuary within my heart where your fears find peace and your wounds find healing. This place is not marked by perfection, but by the reality of mercy and the flourish of second chances. You may have stumbled, your heart may have been bruised, but my hand has always been extended toward you. I have carried every part of your weakness and transformed it into a cornerstone for your resilience. Let this truth settle in you with the gentleness of morning dew. You matter immeasurably, and your purpose is alive and breathing. My dear child, don't let the voices of condemnation or the echo of past mistakes drown out the declaration of my love. I don't see you through the lens of failure, but through the eternal promise of redemption. Your story is being rewritten every day, and you're invited to walk forward, not in the weight of regret, but in the freedom of my grace. Release the bondage of shame that tries to bind your spirit. It has no place where my love reigns. I am the one who forgives, who renews, who breathes life into dry bones and calls beauty forth from ashes. As you embrace this truth, know that you are never alone. I am here, whispering courage to your fragile heart and strengthening the faint pulses of hope within you. You are a temple, a vessel of light designed to reflect my glory amidst the darkest places. Your existence is not incidental or accidental, but a divine appointment with destiny. Lean into me with confidence, surrendering your fears and doubts into the hands that hold the universe. In this surrender, you will find your deepest freedom and greatest joy. Look beyond tomorrow's horizon and see the purposes I have placed upon your life, like seeds waiting to flourish under the sun of my blessing. Each calling, each dream, each gentle nudge of your spirit bears my signature. You are called to shine, to love, to heal, and to bring hope where despair seeks to reside. Be still and listen for my guidance, for my voice speaks clearly amid the noise. If only you will pause and tune your heart to hear. Walk boldly in the knowledge that I am your ever-present guide, your shield, and your strength. My dear, you belong fully, unshakably to me, and to the family of those who are called by my name. In this belonging find refuge. Let it be the foundation upon which you build your days. When the storm rises or the path seems uncertain, remember the cornerstone of my covenant holds firm. Your worth is not what you can do, but who you are in me, beloved, cherished, and beloved beyond measure. Let this truth become the anthem of your soul, sung with the confidence of a child who knows they are safely home. The darkness you have known will not have the last word. Light breaks through even the heaviest night, and you are not only a witness to this truth, but a bearer of it. Your life is a living testimony of grace, a beacon that will guide others out of their own struggles. Embrace your calling to be a vessel of hope and healing for those around you, for I have entrusted you with this beautiful task. Don't underestimate the power of your faith, the impact of your courage, or the reach of my love flowing through you. My beloved, as you step forward into tomorrow, carry this certainty in your soul. My love for you is inexhaustible. My grace is abundant, and my presence is forever near. You are mine now and forever, held securely in the embrace of divine love that will never let you go. Will you believe me this time? Will you lean into the fullness of the life I offer? Take my hand now and walk forward with boldness and peace, confident that you are wholly loved and eternally treasured. My beloved, in the quiet moments when the world seems to fall away and the shadows of despair stretch long across your heart, I see you. I see the weight you carry, the silent battles you face when no one is watching. Hope, my child, is not a distant star beyond your reach. It is the breath of life I whisper into your soul, the gentle hand I extend even when you feel lost in the wilderness of your doubts and fears. When the night feels endless and your spirit is weary from searching, know that the dawn is nearer than you think, for I am already moving to meet you there. You may have wandered through seasons where hope felt more like a ghost, an echo that slipped through your fingers just as you grasped for it. That's the path of many. But understand this, I am the one who plants hope in the driest places. Even in the desert of your heart's deepest longing, where thirst threatens your peace, I am the fountain that will not run dry. Don't mistake the barrenness for emptiness. There is life beneath the surface, unseen to the eye, but alive and pulsating, calling you toward restoration. Hope is not just a feeling. It is a divine promise pressed into your spirit. It is the pulse of my love beating within you. Even when your circumstances seem to conspire against joy, when your soul cries out in the silence and the wounds of yesterday threaten to harden your heart, remember that I am the healer who fashions beauty from brokenness. My hands, though invisible, are holding you tightly, molding you tenderly like a potter with the finest clay. My dear child, I invite you to lean into this truth. Hope is potent, it's real, and it is relentless. It will find you in the moments when you least expect it, slipping softly into your thoughts, warming the cold places you thought would never thaw. I come not always with fireworks or grand displays, but often through a whisper, a single thread of light weaving into the darkness, showing you the way forward. If your heart is stirring, don't turn away from this quiet invitation. You may ask, how can hope find me when life has felt so heavy? When the pain seems to hold me captive? Know that in the very places where you feel the most bound, I am at work to set you free. Your story is not finished, my beloved. Your chapters have not run dry. Even the night of the soul is fertile ground for hope to grow, for I plant seeds that rise in darkness before the dawn. Remember the lilies that bloom where no man tends, the stars that shine unseen by many, but hold their place in the heavens with unwavering faithfulness. So too does hope sustain you through the unseen and the unknown. It is tethered to my steadfast heart, and I will not let you go. You are never abandoned, though you may feel surrounded by silence and shadows. My love pursues you relentlessly, beckoning you to trust again. Can you hear the soft, not tame? I see you there, caught in moments when the shore seems unreachable and invisible, and your spirit wrestles with feelings of abandonment, being forgotten or unseen by those around you, and at times even by me. These feelings may whisper lies in your ear, that you're alone, that your struggles go unnoticed, that the love promised to you is delayed or withheld. Yet, my beloved, I am closer than your very breath, more present than the beat of your heart. I am the whisper beneath the thunder, the stillness beneath the chaos. In these quiet battles where your soul wrestles with shadows of loneliness and invisibility, don't believe the lie that you have been forsaken. When the night is at its darkest, when the silence weighs heavily and prayers seem to echo unanswered, it is precisely in those moments that I hold you most tenderly. Imagine yourself as a precious vessel made of delicate clay, shaped with infinite care by a potter's hands. Sometimes the potter allows pressure to form, sometimes cracks appear, not to discard the vessel, but to create space for light to permeate, for transformation to take hold. Your feelings of loss or invisibility are not signs of abandonment, but invitations to deeper intimacy with me, to a trust that rises beyond sight and touch. My dear child, your tears don't fall into an empty void. Each one is gathered with infinite love and stored within the treasury of my heart. When you question whether anyone truly sees you, turn your gaze inward and upward to me. I alone behold you fully. I have inscribed your name upon the palms of my hands, woven into the fabric of my being. The moments you feel unrecognized are the moments I am preparing you for your destined purpose, refining you in the silence so that one day your light will shine with a brilliance that nothing and no one can dim. Allow this to settle in your soul. Your value is not measured by visible acknowledgement, but by the unchanging gaze of divine love. Loneliness, abandonment, the sensation of being unseen, these are not mere emotions, but spiritual signposts guiding you toward deeper union with me. When the world turns its gaze away, when rejection stings your spirit, I am the refuge and the safe harbor, the unwavering presence that doesn't waver or weaken. Remember the ancient trees that stand firm through storms. Their roots may tremble unseen beneath the earth, but they delve deeper, anchoring them securely. So too, my love, your roots in me run deep beneath any shifting circumstances or transient feelings. Will you allow me to be your anchor today, holding you steady amidst the tempests? There are times when the weight of invisibility can feel almost suffocating, cloaking your heart in loneliness, even despair. Yet in those moments, I'm inviting you into an embrace that transcends human understanding. Picture the night sky, a vast expanse filled with stars, many unseen by the naked eye, but shining nonetheless. Your light burns brightly, even when hidden, igniting hope and warmth in places you may never visit. Don't let the absence of immediate sight rob you of confidence or belonging. I see every tear, every silent cry, every longing whispered in the secret chamber of your heart. My beloved, will you trust me and lean into this hidden presence that knows you intimately? Sometimes feeling lost or unseen is a season of preparation, a sacred space where your spirit is being emptied of worldly measures of worth and refilled with eternal affirmation. Like a seed buried in fertile darkness, you may be hidden now, but are poised to burst forth with vibrant life. The wilderness can feel desolate, but it is also rich with the promise of new growth. If your heart is stirring, even faintly, don't turn away. This stirring is the gentle call of my spirit, inviting you to rise, to live in the assurance that you are my beloved, wonderfully and unshakably known. There's a profound intimacy available to you that surpasses the superficial rhythms of everyday acknowledgement. This intimacy is a sacred intertwining of your soul and mine, a place where you are completely seen, completely accepted, loved without condition or hesitation. I am your abiding presence when no one else stands near, your constant companion in those shadowed moments when the weight of being unseen threatens to overwhelm you. Your feelings, your struggles are not trivial to me. They are the very pathways through which my grace flows to heal and restore. Let this be your refuge, a sanctuary where invisibility doesn't diminish your worth, but reveals the depth of my gaze upon you. My dear child, I call you to stand firm, to anchor your identity, not in fleeting glances of approval, but in the unshakable truth of my love. when you feel abandoned or unseen. It is not the end of your journey, but the birthing of a new chapter. Will you take my hand even now and trust that I am shaping a story that surpasses your understanding? Will you allow your heart to rest in the certainty of my presence, the permanence of your place in my family? Your loneliness is not unnoticed. Your tears are not wasted. They are the sacred offerings that bind our hearts closer. And as you walk through this valley, remember it is a pathway not to isolation, but to communion with me and with those I have placed around you who are discovering their own paths toward belonging and visibility. Let this truth saturate your being. You are seen, loved, cherished beyond measure, and destined to rise in the fullness of your divine identity. If your heart is stirring, don't turn away from me now. Let us walk this path together. Now, take this moment. Breathe deeply. Recognize my nearness, and let your heart receive the warmth of my unwavering gaze. You don't walk alone, beloved. I am here now and always, waiting to reveal your worth fully and to unfold the great tapestry of your life in the light of my love. Will you trust me with your unseen places? Will you open yourself to the restoration that comes through knowing you are eternally embraced? Let this be your balm and your strength. If your spirit is moved, reach out in prayer, in whispered surrender, or silent meditation. Let my presence fill the spaces where loneliness has taken root. Remember, I see you fully, not just in your victories, but in your quiet pain. And I love you beyond what words can hold. Let this truth settle deep within you today, my beloved, as you have journeyed through the depths of your soul, confronting the shadows that once clouded your vision. Now hear the unwavering voice of your Creator declare the truth etched forever into your very being. You are mine, not by a fleeting choice, but by an eternal, unbroken covenant of love that no force, no failing, no distance can sever. Remember this. Your identity is not shaped by the fleeting tides of circumstance or by the accusations that rise within your heart. You are the cherished image of my purpose, sculpted in the fires of grace and bound by the thread of divine destiny that runs through every moment of your existence. There may have been moments when you felt invisible, as if wandering alone through deserts of despair or standing beneath skies heavy with silence. Yet even in these times, every breath you took was orchestrated in my care. Every tear captured and transformed not into mere sorrow, but into the seeds of renewal and strength within you. In those quiet spaces between pain and hope, I was present, crafting a perfect narrative of redemption that would lead you home. My love has been your shelter and your sword, your gentle whisper urging you forward when the world shouted doubt around you. Don't mistake the seasons of waiting and wrestle as absence or abandonment. They are the sacred intervals where your soul is forged into radiant resilience. Like gold refined through fire, your character has been purified and your faith deepened in ways you didn't understand, but I always designed. Embrace this truth. Your belonging is unwavering. You're claimed by love that doesn't waver or retreat, a love that lifts you when you stumble and breathes courage into your weary heart. You're never lost, for you journey alongside the hand that has never released you. Carry this identity with conviction, for it is the foundation upon which all your steps are anchored. In the tapestry of creation, your threads shimmer uniquely, vital, irreplaceable, and gloriously alive with my spirit. The purpose I've engraved in you is mighty, stretching beyond the horizon you see now. Don't be deceived by moments of uncertainty or shadows of doubt. Your destiny is woven with divine intention. I've designed you for a purpose that only you can fulfill, a calling that ignites the world with hope and light. Surrender your fears, your hesitations, your fragments of woundedness to me. Let go of the heavy burdens you've carried and feel the relief that comes when my peace, which surpasses all understanding, flows like a river within your soul. It is in this surrender that you will find strength beyond your strength, clarity beyond your comprehension, trust in my perfect timing, my precise orchestration. Even when silence surrounds you, the dawn is nearer than you realize, and every waiting moment is saturated with unseen blessings and preparation. I invite you to dwell in this truth daily. You are beloved beyond measure, restored beyond repair, and set forth with an unshakable identity born from the heart of heaven itself. Let my love nurture your spirit and embolden your soul to declare with certainty, no matter the storm, I am held, I am known, I am precious. This declaration releases you from every chain of insecurity, from all lies of unworthiness that tried to claim you. Now embrace the fullness of your belonging. Reach out to me, the shepherd, who rejoices over you with an everlasting love. Draw close into the sanctuary of my presence, and let the transforming power of my grace overwhelm every doubt, every fear. You are beloved more deeply than you can imagine, and you are home. My heart beats in rhythm with yours, steady and relentless in its pursuit of you. Will you now stand in this truth, fortified and radiant? Will you let your soul rest in this assurance that no matter what comes, you're mine? Let this truth settle so deeply within you that nothing can shake it. Live wrapped in the light of my love, reflecting it boldly, knowing your place is secure, your identity eternal. Amen. If your heart has been touched, if this message has stirred a flame within you, don't keep it hidden. Share this with those who feel lost or uncertain. Save it as a beacon for days that feel heavy, and return here often to remind your soul of who you are in me. My love never fails, and neither will you. My beloved child, carry this message to a weary soul. Let it be a lamp in their darkness, a voice that whispers hope. What you've heard today isn't merely a lesson, it's a lifeline for the days to come. The hour is urgent, and your calling is clear, to rise with courage, to live with conviction. You are not walking this road alone. Heaven walks with you, and you are seen, valued, and eternally held. If this stirred something within you, don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe and return as we uncover the truths that anchor us in grace and lead us into destiny. Pass this light to someone in shadow. Remind them they matter. And until we meet again, stand firm in love, live boldly in purpose, and remember, you were made for this moment. Amen.